In today's video, we will be going over how to install the RetroGlow kit on the Gameboy Advance. You will find a written guide in the video description. This kit comes printed in one piece. You will need to use flush cutters or scissors in order to separate the PCBs. Make sure to only cut on the dotted lines, and be sure not to accidentally cut any traces on the PCBs. Once you have your pieces separated, we can begin by placing them onto the board. Be sure to align the holes with the copper rings directly above the pads they will be soldered to. We recommend using Kapton tape to hold the PCB in place while you solder. The only holes that we should apply flux and solder to are the ones with the copper rings around the holes. I began with the smaller pads as they were easier to align the PCB with. This allowed me to bridge the ground connection with no problem as well. Once I had the left side soldered in place, I moved on to the right side of the console and repeated my steps. I aligned the holes, used some Kapton tape, and began soldering. After you have both PCBs soldered into place, we can connect the two halves with the long flex piece. This piece will lay over the two other PCBs and bridge the connections between both sides of the console. After you finish soldering, we can move on to the reassembly. I recommend placing the console into the bottom half of the shell and testing before totally rebuilding the console. If all the lights show up, then you can proceed on to reassembly. Thank you for watching. Be sure to check out our other guides on how to adjust the color of your new RetroGlow kit. We also recommend taking a look at our ever-growing wiki in the description below.